Hi, you guys. We are so back with some fall sewing patterns from Simplicity, from the Big Five. We've actually got New Look, McCall's, uh, Nomi, and Vogue, I think, are all to be reviewed. They've all put out their fall or early fall patterns. So over the next few days, you guys are going to be seeing those pop up on my channel. I took a bit of a break for summer, but I am happy to be back and kicking things off with one of our favorite series, looking at all of the patterns in a collection. I call it First Impression Videos, where I take a look at these patterns for the very first time. You're getting my honest first impression of all of them. Today, we're going to look at all of the new look patterns. And if you're wondering, I don't have any additional information about the sale, about the foreclosure. I think today's date is September 2nd. I think that in a couple weeks is when the auction's supposed to happen. So we will find out a lot more then. And I will be able to update everybody with a news item type video. But for now, we're just going to enjoy the patterns as they come out. I know that they work like a year in advance. So even though everyone was like 80 people were let go last month, I think, we still have like a year's worth of patterns to be released. So we will be optimistic. We will manifest that we're still going to get the big five, or maybe they're four or three, or maybe the big five becomes big one. Whatever it is, I will be sure to keep you guys posted on it. But for now, let's take a look at the new look patterns. We're starting things off with this Mrs. Jacket and Vest. And remember, new look patterns are, well, I want to say when Joanne was open, they were always $3.99 on the wall. This sale, I'm not sure if it's for Labor Day because that was yesterday, or if they're always $3.99 on the website now, but New Look is the one that is the most affordable of all of them. It is also pretty basic in terms of design. Okay, we're not going to get anything revolutionary here, but it is a great way to kind of build your basics, and get, a cute little wardrobe from some of them. All right, this is a versatile jacket or vest that is flexible to your preference. Choose a zipper front or button closure for either. For either? Views A. I'm being very skeptical about text these days, about copy, because I feel like everyone's using AI and sometimes it like just doesn't get it right. So sometimes when I see something really weird, I'm like, the bots are confused. Views A and B include on-seam pockets. View C and D feature patch pockets with flaps plus adjustable tabs with buttons or snaps for utility-inspired style. Utility-inspired style, yet they dressed it with, dress pants and high heels and, did like a leather sleeve. So they're really stretching the limits of utility here. Oh, look at this. Fabric and photo. That's new to this season. Oh, is that going to be on everybody's? That's exciting. Pre-quilted woven in blue and black, and sorry, faux leather in black. That is really cool. Love to see it. Fabric suggestions right here on the front page. That's also new. Corduroy, leather-like something. Micro suede, pinwork corduroy, ponte, suede-like something. Maybe it just means like suede-like fabrics. Tweed, wool types, also in fleece for A and B, C and D, also in single face pre-quilted fabrics. Okay. I'm not so sure how super helpful it is to have all this on the front page, but if this is not now included on the back of the envelope, you got to put it somewhere, right? If this is on the back of the envelope, that just feels like we're taking up front page space here, but I'd rather have some sizing information there than fabrics. But either way, okay, so we have a princess seam, fully bias bound, so that's fun. Thankfully though, there aren't any right angles. That's what makes bias more challenging. Think about like a quilt, and how you have to do that like folded thingamajig. It's like origami. But this one's all curves, so that'll be relatively simple to do. I'm not going to say easy, but it is simple and straightforward to do. We have snaps and snaps, and then it is kind of like taking up the length of her shoulder. That seems intentional. And then we have this faux leather which is just fully giving plastic. It's a plastic sleeve. And I stand corrected. She's in jeans, okay? She's not in trousers like I thought, but she is in a velvet high heel. So maybe if they had put her in something like a sneaker, or maybe like a cargo pant or something, it'd be giving utility a little bit more. But she's like blinging with the gold and the turtleneck. It's all very like, we're trying to make this utility jacket dressy, which I guess you can. Like I guess you can. Why not? This one has the pockets in the princess seam. I love that. They're not very deep, right? They're only going to be this wide. So you can't put a ton of stuff in there, but it is kind of cool. And this, I will say, looks like this version looks more like something she would actually be wearing with this outfit. If it was in the suede or the tweed or whatever, this is the version you'd be trying to pull off. This one, I don't know. It's very confusing. But then again, the fabric choices with the big five are always confusing. So just keep that in mind. Here's the vest version. The vest it's the same exact thing as this with no sleeves. And then this is the same exact thing as this with no sleeves. So there's really only two versions here. And then you can just either leave the sleeve off or leave it on. All right, next, same picture. Yes, we've seen all this. Okay, here's the back. Oh, it has tabs. I didn't even notice that from the front. That's because it looks like they're sewn into the side seam, right? There's definitely no belt looking thing there. So they're sewn into the side seam and then they snap right outside of the princess seam in the back. Okay, that's a nice little like nip tuck situation. You can definitely like put the other end of the snap further in if you want to snatch it in even more. But yeah, the fit looks good, for a, you guys have been commenting. I've been saying fit model. She's not a fit model. You're right. She is a sample model. Is that right? I think I'm saying that right. So she doesn't model it for fit. She models it to sell, which I guess is different. I know it's different. I'm not guessing. So thank you for that correction in the comments. I will always, always, always take your constructive feedback if I'm saying something wrong. So please don't hesitate. Anyway, so here we are on the sizing. We have 10 through 22, so not the most inclusive. That is the other downside about New Look, is that all the sizes are always in one envelope. Let me make sure I'm saying that right. Hold on. Choose size. Yeah, everything's all in one. So it's a little bit limited in how many sizes they can include, depending on the design, I think. So this one has 7. And then our finished garment measurements for the bust, it looks like we have, let's see, 6.5 inches. That seems okay. I think if you're in between sizes, definitely size down. And then we're not getting any waist or hip measurements. It's going to be close to this one, but not exactly that, because it still does flare out a little bit. So 6.5. Yeah, if you know that you like your stuff fitted, a little more fitted, or you know that you're not going to be wearing like a big chunky sweater underneath, definitely size down. 6.5 is not bad. It's not like gonna look crazy on you. You also want to check, more than anything, even more than the bust, the full bust, is check that shoulder, because it did seem like on the edge of being unintentionally too long. Like I'm not getting see how it's like kind of off of her shoulder, but when you look at these line drawings, they're not giving off the shoulder. So that would be the one fit thing I would check on this, more so than even the 6.5 inches of ease in the bust. All right, and then we have all the same fabrics that they have listed on the front. You need a separating zipper and also double fold bias tape or leather trim. And then for C, you just need different amounts of that. For C and D, you also need 13 buttons or decorative snaps. I also want to point out, views A and B don't have that snap detail in the back. Okay. Not bad for the first one on New Look. I always have sort of, what happened? Nope. Lower expectations for New Look, because the designs are always a little bit a little bit basic, and almost always styled just badly. It's almost like the opposite of Berta style. Berta style is like over styled, and this is like, I don't even know, like who signed off on this. This is giving nursing home, and you are a resident. You're not an employee. Oh, okay. So Mrs. Knit tops and woven pull-on pants. So that's part of the problem. Um, all the sizes are in one. There are only 6 sizes in this one, probably because it has pants and a top. This cozy casual pattern set includes boxy fit knit tops with dropped shoulders and long sleeves. Choose funnel neck version with top stitch seams and back neck zipper. Or a wide round neckline with clean turn back hems. These pull on pants feature full length relaxed fit and a ribbon casing with elastic and fabric tie ends. Okay, so view A is sweatshirt fleece and view C is sparkle lightweight denim. Fabric suggestions: stretch knits only, such as fleece, sweatshirt fleece. See, pick a knit rule. Well, guess what? We can't, because this is the internet and you guys don't put that on the internet. That's annoying. See in chambray, cotton and cotton blends, linen and linen blends, suede rayons and silks. Suede rayon? Suede silk? Never heard of that. Not suitable for obvious diagonals. So yeah, you've got your like mid to heavyweight knit, but not a ton of stretch. I would be surprised if these had like more than 25% stretch. And then for the bottoms, you're going for your bottom weights or lightweight, say lighter, the lighter side of mid-weight wovens and up from there. The reason why the styling on this is so not great is because it's baggy on baggy and long on long. So she has no shape. She had like, your eye is cut like right here, which makes her legs look really short. It's just the proportions on the eye are just like all over the place. Is this comfortable? There's no doubt about it. It's comfortable. But we need to crop this or to make these into shorts or work on the proportions a little bit in order to get this to be something that doesn't look like, you're sick, right? Or, I mean, it doesn't look like pajamas, but it's giving sort of like pajamas, but even almost worse because of the tunic length of this. So anyways, this is not a bad set of patterns, right? You will wear this, but in order to wear them together, something's got to give. Okay, so it does have the funnel neck. I do love a funnel neck. This top stitch detail is really beautiful on a sweatshirt fleece. I think that's really nice. The zipper in the back, which I guess we're going to see in a second, I'm not entirely sure we need that. If this does have stretch and the opening looks pretty big, even people with the biggest heads should be able to stretch it over themselves. I just don't think that a zipper in the back would be very comfortable. I get why they're there, but just get a stretchier knit and then you won't need that. Then again, if you're using something like this, which I think is like some kind of tweedish looking or sweater knit, some of them, cable knits, for example, they're not going to have any stretch at all. So if you're going less than whatever the pick a knit rule is, like if you're going 10% stretch, or you could do no stretch technically, then you would definitely have to put the zipper in. Then there's like the, casual t-shirt version, which is what that looks like to me. And then we've got a pull-on pant. Okay, so what they were saying about the casing is that inside the casing is elastic, and then the fabric, the self ties, are sewn to each end of the elastic, and then you pull on those to tie them. So that's how you get this little thing. Ribbon casing, I don't know what that means. Does that mean there's a ribbon on the inside? I don't think so. I think maybe it's referring to the self fabric on the outside, maybe. I'm not sure. The loafer also isn't really helping here, but at least they didn't put her in a high heel. Okay, so here's the zipper. You can see it's not even all that pretty. I personally would try and avoid that if I could, and it would make it a million times easier to sew. But you can see even from the back, like She is a petite girl, and she's, linebacker for sure. But it is a drop shoulder. This is the way it was designed. So that's that. This looks interesting. It almost looked like they had intentionally folded it to make it look a little more pretty, but I don't think so. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so 8 to 16. We have 8 inches of ease in the bust and 6 inches in the hip. Again, all of that makes sense based on the description of the design. If you like things to be a little more fitted, you could definitely size down 1 or 2 because you're only saving an inch each time you go up. Well, this one is an inch and a half, but so instead of it being, what was that, 8 inches, then it would be 7 inches, and then 2 sizes down would be 5.5 inches. It's all still reasonable sweatshirt type of fit. Just depends on how you want the overall thing to look. Okay, so notions are a zipper, and okay, so there is ribbon. There is ribbon, 1 3/4 yards of 1 inch wide ribbon. Is that on the inside of the pant? That doesn't make any sense. I'm wondering if they're doing ribbon in lieu of the self drawstring, but in the picture they just put the self fabric. I don't know because they never show her waistband. I have no idea about the rise of these pants. I have no idea what the fit looks like. Nothing, because they never show us any other pictures. So that's that. I do think each of those individually are fine patterns, just together is strange. Speaking of interesting, we have a coat. We have a coat in 2 lengths. Oh, and a jacket. It sure does look comfortable, right? It's giving Snuggie. This is giving Snuggie a little bit. So let's get into it. Extra small to extra large. So it's alphanumeric. So really each of these are 2 sizes. So that's technically 10 sizes. Relaxed fit hooded coat or jacket sewing pattern includes 3 lengths and long raglan sleeves for comfort and ease. View A features contrast lining, fold over braid trim, and side pockets. View B and C are made from reversible fabric. Okay, that's making more sense. B featuring front pockets and C offering side seam pockets. This is a cotton poly Sherpa fleece backed jersey knit in heather gray. Cotton poly Sherpa fleeced backed jersey knit in heather gray. I wonder, as an experiment, I want to see if I copied this whole thing into a search bar. Do you get the exact fabric? I would be surprised. No, this is just cotton jersey. So, okay. I was going to say that would be helpful if they were giving us. This is all just sweatshirt fleece. What about not sponsored? Not sponsored. Sweatshirt fleece knits. A blanket. Okay, so no Sherpa fleece. That's Walmart. So no Sherpa lined, Sherpa lined jersey. If you just copy and paste it. So it's sort of helpful. I get why they're not putting the exact link. At least I think I get that from like a marketing and sales standpoint. Or also maybe like an inventory standpoint. I just wondered if you just copied and pasted it. You have to do a little bit harder of a search than just copy and pasting. That would be nice, but yet again, I ask for too much. So A is in fleece. Melton is a type of wool. This is wool types. Contrast also in flannel, satin, and taffeta. Contrast for A is the contrast lining. Okay, so B and C, she's wearing C. Double-faced fleece, double-faced Melton. Yeah, those fabrics are not hard to find, like at all. So don't worry about it. It's just maybe harder to find one that you really like. But this jersey with the Sherpa, yeah, 1,000,000%. That is going to be very comfortable. It also looks like, hard to see from here, but did they just fold this over and then cut it off? That's not even like, yeah, that's a raw edge. Which, okay, that's fine, I guess. Same here, right? It's just, you can see it, but I guess I'd rather see that than surged edges. I don't know, that's interesting. And then it's just like kind of like a cape beyond that. Yeah, interesting. Gotta be super easy to sew, right? It's just like, did you wear your robe outside? Right? Or is this like your actual jacket? Oh boy. All right, so those are the only pictures we get. Sizing wise, I'm sure it's going to be very oversized. Yeah, we're looking at 12 inches of ease in the bust, but I mean, that lines up with what we're seeing here. It's very large. No closures, I don't think. Let's see. Notions, you just need fold over braid if you're going to make that wizardy looking one. this one this one covers up that raw edge with the braid. So, okay, interesting. I'm not dying to have any of these just yet. Oh, look, here's the same thing ish, just with a notched collar. Okay, coat with belt in 2 links. Okay, one fewer size, or I guess technically two fewer number sizes. Make a stunning statement with this oversized swing coat pattern in ankle or knee length. All right, features include long batwing sleeves. So that's like grown on dolman. The other one I think was drop shoulder. So this is just one continuous sleeve. Bold dramatic notch collar. Oh, sorry. Structured shoulder pads, patch pockets with flaps, where belted or loose, includes an optional self fabric tie belt. She's wearing a brushed poly wool blend coating in cream. Suggestions: alpaca, cashmere, coating fabrics, mohair, tweed, wool, velour. Yeah, all of your like heavyweight wovens. Great. I mean, yeah, it's maybe prettier in person. It's not really reading super well. It's not even like the styling is terrible. Maybe it's just because it's so big still. Like everything we've seen so far has been oversized. Maybe like too oversized. We'll look at the fit here in a second. But yeah, it just feels like a lot of fabric on her. And I don't know her size, like her height and all of that, but she seems petite to me. And if she's not, then that's more telling about the pattern than anything else. Oh, look at the hat. Yeah, okay, that is a little bit more redeeming. Okay, so small to extra large and 8 to 22 essentially. And then on this one, finished garment measurements. Oh gosh, they don't have them, of course. What were the other ones? 20, I don't remember. I don't remember. Oh, let's go back because I'm curious. The this one, the come on, finished. Oh, they're not telling us the finish. They are telling us the body measurement. They're not telling us finished. Ugh. That was, yeah, sorry, I got confused. I got it backwards. I got confused. So then I'm not going to be able to tell you kind of at all. Just know that if it's any bigger than that other coat, it just depends on you, right? It depends on like how tall you are, and it goes back to proportions. I feel like everything on her, the proportions are just like a little bit off. The good thing about this one is you don't need any notions other than these molded shoulder pads. I guess those can be a little bit pricey, but and if you don't put them in, then it looks even more sloppy. If it's designed to have shoulder pads, you kind of have to use the shoulder pads, in my opinion. You could do some alterations to exclude them, but yeah, it's just like everything on her, this is all the same model, everything on her just feels like the proportions are off just a little bit. If this were like a little bit smaller through the shoulders, I think I would like it fine. All right, this is a unisex knit hoodie, pants, and dress. Okay, don't hate the dress if I'm being honest. Sizing is all sizes, just any size you can possibly imagine. That can't be true. That just can't be true. What does that even mean? One size fits all? No, that's not it. This knitwear pattern set offers 3 cozy pieces: knit hoodie with drawstring, kangaroo pocket, purchase trim, and optional appliques. Oh, like for your... Okay. Pull-on pants with elastic waist and drawstring with hem variations, meaning you can do elastic or not. And then a hooded dress with short sleeves, kangaroo pockets, and trim details. Views A and B, the dark blue one is Ponte de Roma. And then she's wearing Ponte de Roma in green. Stretch knits only, such as double knits, fleece jerseys, lightweight double knit sweatshirt, fleece velour. Again, this means nothing to us shopping online because you don't include that on the website anywhere or on this pattern anywhere. So this is what Ponte looks like, especially the Ponte de Roma, which tends to be a little bit more luxurious, a little bit more lightweight than maybe what you're used to, but the stretch is minimal on Ponte. There's not a lot of stretch at all. So keep that in mind. But you can basically make this like, what are they, collegiate type of sweat hoodie, which I don't mind the armbands. Those are kind of cool. You can see his here. They look just like top stitched ribbons, basically. So you can make something cool, I guess. And put your own initials or your school, or I don't know, patches are kind of like a thing right now. So you can find lots of cool patches to put on. And then here are the pants. This is him wearing the elastic size pants. Very roomy, it looks like. Even this hoodie is, again, the proportions of it, like so long. I don't think guys are wearing their hoodies this long anymore. And then that combined with the very baggy, loose fitting pant, it's just a lot. But the dress is super cute. The hemline, the length of it is nice. The fit of the shoulder, like all of this looks really cute on her. So that one, I could get behind this. I kind of also like that they put a little t-shirt underneath it. I don't know. This just feels cute and comfy with her little sneaker. You know what I mean? I mean, that's cute. That's the first one I've been like remotely interested in. But yep, these are all the same illustrations and pictures. Oh, cute. No, with the hood up, but you get the idea. God, look, even that hood is so big. And he's probably a big guy. I mean, look how it's just it's so big. But that, okay, I'm here for that. This fits well. All of this is happening because she's popped into this hip and it's most fitted around the fullest part of her bum. So that's why we're getting this drag line here. She could technically do a full seat adjustment on this and then some of that would go away. But that's why you're getting that. Okay, let's see what they're going to give us here on the back. So finished garment measurement wise, the bust for C, which is the dress, you're going to get, it looks like 8 inches of ease, really. She doesn't have 8 inches of ease, do you think? Maybe 6. Yeah, that's pretty fitted around her. So I don't think 8 is what she's got. You may like 8. I'm going to go for somewhere closer to 5 or 6 personally if I were making this. Hip of C, they don't give us. It does have a little bit of a flare to it, so you could possibly grade out one size and not have it look really funky. My better suggestion would be to do the full seat adjustment. Not hard to do at all. Anybody can do it. It's basically just a little triangle, so you can do it. If you've got like a pear shape, that's what I would do. If you're a ruler, you're good. If you're, what is it, inverted triangle, you're good because you're going to go off your full bust adjustment, maybe even shave some of this curve off and make it more of a column style dress. So yeah, I think it's doable with the shape that you've got. And all that ease in the bust probably means that there's the same amount in the hip. And then these pants, the hip is 35 and a half. So they're saying only 3 inches of ease in the hip, but I don't know. That looked like on him, like way, 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 way more. Interesting too that they're not doing A and C bust and B and D hip. Like, why isn't that happening? That's giving me a little bit of pause. Like, wait a minute. You know what I mean? Notions wise, you need seam binding, fold over braid, optional appliques, 1 inch elastic for the pants and for the legs. Yeah, and then some twill tape possibly, depending on which version you're making. So not the cheapest list of notions, especially if you're going to do the patches. Those can be kind of expensive. So keep that in mind when you're shopping for your fabric. Oh no, they've done it. Did they do a barrel pant? No. It's just a pleated wide leg pant. Oh gosh, okay. Okay, Mrs. Draped front vest, jacket, and pants. 3 patterns, 10 to 22 is the size range. So they've got as many sizes as they possibly could. I think they're missing 8 in their size range. This versatile set includes a loose fitting draped jacket, which these waterfall things we've seen. We've probably made them if you've been sewing for any amount of time. They're really easy to sew. Again, nothing revolutionary though. You can also make it into a vest with an open front and flattering back darts. Okay, we'll take a look at those. Paired with straight leg fitted pants. Straight leg fitted pants? Featuring a fly front closure and side seam pockets. Oh, I don't know what is happening. So the jacket is faux suede and the pants are coated denim. Again, on paper, this should work. But again, it's something to do with, like, why does she look 4 sizes bigger than she actually is? Is it the length of the pant? Is it the straight leg? Something's not, again, I don't know. This one specifically doesn't feel like it's too oversized. It just feels like the proportions are wrong. Like, this is high-waisted. So without the jacket, I bet if we get a picture of it without the jacket, it would be better. If they put her in like a flat instead of this heel, possibly better. Or if the inseam were just longer to the floor. This just, I feel like, makes her look so much bigger than she really is. And nobody wants that, right? I'm all for body positivity, but your clothes should be working to help you in that regard. And then also, this just looks like, what does that have? Yeah, that's an actual facing. I think that's just the seam allowances. Yeah, that's fully faced. So, again, individually, maybe these would be okay separately. And like, that's a pretty traditional design for a pant. Okay, they got her to do a little like jumpy thing. Still hands in pockets though. I guess that's better. Okay, here's the back. All right, these are the flattering things they were just saying. So we've got shoulder detail. Wow, we've got a waist dart and elbow darts. So this little cardigan jacket thing is really a powerhouse in terms of construction. It's doing everything it can to give itself some kind of shape. So, there's that. It's just unfortunate that it looks so not great on these pictures. I don't think the fit is off on her on the jacket. It's the proportions or something is just not reading right. We've also got four darts across the back. The fit of this looks totally fine. Even her little side seam pocket isn't like popping out too much. So the fit of the pants is fine. Oh, there's even a pulled back version. The back does look better, right? The short proportion of the jacket. So it must be those front tails that are just, or whatever, this waterfall thing. Or the way she's standing. I don't know. I can't figure it out, but something about this is not the most flattering. All right. So, fit-wise, the bust of this jacket, yeah, it's going to have, what is that? 6.5 inches of ease. It's open front. That makes sense. You could go down. Just make sure that your shoulder is in the right place if you go down. The waist of the pant, AB waist, not the waist of the jacket, waist of the pant, C, is 1.5 inches. That makes perfect sense. The hip is 3.5 inches. By all accounts, like I said, on paper, this seems like it should work. I don't know what it is about this picture. It's the angle. It's something. Something is just not reading right. I have to trust that if you you look good in straight leg pants, maybe a drapey, or I don't know what could have helped. But if you know, these like I said are individually good patterns, and if you like them, you should get this and you should make it. Something about that photo I think is going to prevent people from trying it though. Here's another one. What is up with this? Oh man, I don't know what is happening. Okay, wrap skirt in 2 lengths. We've got small to extra large, straight, slim fit wrap skirt pattern, features gentle gathers at the front and back waist. Okay. Side front button closure, side seam pockets, 2 lengths, mid calf or ankle, both finished with a graceful tulip hem, top stitch, narrow edges for a polished look. Yeah, very vintage, very retro. Again, makes perfect sense. They're using a woven metallic. And again, she's even wearing like a super fitted top. Maybe it's got to be the length, right? The length as it compares to the width of it? I don't know. Challis, charmeuse, crepe, gabardine, lightweight flannel, lightweight linen, lightweight tweeds, pongee. We haven't seen pongee in a minute. Raw silk, single knits. Single knits. Single knits? I don't know about that. Let's see. I think the skirt is really cute. And again, the styling here is not off from what you would expect to see people in. It's hitting at her high waist. Everything about it, yeah. Maybe I just have too much of a critical hat on today. I don't know. But initially, I was like, again, it makes her look like she has really wide hips. But yeah, the metallic metallic fabric is probably standing away from her body a little bit. Oh boy, sorry. And causing it to bubble out like this. Not all fabrics would do that, but that is kind of the design. Right? Like, that's the point. Oh gosh, this fabric choice isn't great for the gathers, just because they just really they don't fall into themselves, you know what I mean? Like, they don't lay right. So maybe that's part of what's going on in the front too. Cute little design again. Maybe this one is more attributed to fabric choice than anything else. Why it's not reading right on the picture. But waist, we've got 1 to 2 inches, and then in the hip we've got a whole bunch. So like, what is that? 34? No, 6 inches in the waist. I'm sorry, in the hip. So yeah, I mean 6 inches in the hip is a little bit much, but yeah, maybe it's the gathers that are throwing me off on this one. Okay, next up we have this, what is it? Jacket, belt, and dress with petite lines. So instead of calling this a petite pattern, they started doing this thing with petite lines. So, and I don't honestly think there's much difference on the pattern pieces themselves. They just have like more length and shorten lines than normal so that you can lengthen and shorten accordingly. Again, very kind of vintagey almost looking design, very classic, very seen it before, but if you're building up your wardrobe, like this is a good way to do it. Especially at this price point, getting a jacket, a belt, and a dress. Sizing, we have 8 to 20. So it is the smaller end of their size range, just missing the 22. Classic lined jacket sewing pattern. So construction is really nice here. Features flattering princess seams, long sleeves with slits, top stitch details, complete the look with a self-tie belt featuring coordinating top stitching. The matching line dress includes princess seams, a back zipper, back slit, perfect for business wear or formal occasions. This is a novelty silk brocade and a wool suiting. Other fabric suggestions are double knit, gabardine, lightweight tweed, wool crepe. Yeah, imagine if you went into like Banana Republic, like the fabrics that you would see there. So yeah, very classic. The jacket fits really well. The slits are cute. These slits here, you've got kind of a diamondy shaped lapel. I don't think it's actually notched. And then your princess seams. It is pretty roomy to just have this little dress on underneath, but if you were going to put sweaters and stuff also, or like this dress plus a cardigan plus a jacket, then you would need that amount of room. We're going to take a look at the individual pictures of this, but this seems to be okay. My only concern is whatever's happening right here, but it is kind of like a pretty open neck. Yeah, just sort of really classic. Yeah, I guess that is fine. It might be a little short, like the arm side opening, although if you look over here, it doesn't look short at all. This might just be an optical illusion. I don't really know what's happening. But if we take this one and pretend it's like this with the bag gone, that seems like it would be okay. Let's see the back. Please show us the back. Back of the jacket looks great. Okay, interesting. So we've done a inseam zipper, no, lapped zipper, lapped, folded. I can never remember the names of these. Not invisible. Of course, you could do invisible if you wanted, but maybe because of the fabric choice being a little bit thicker, they wanted to do one in the seam. You've got these really beautiful princess seams in the back and also this slit. Yeah, I mean, if I needed a workwear dress and I wanted it to be this sheath style, I mean, I would grab this pattern for sure. Everything about it seems totally on point, reasonable, doable, all of that stuff. All checks all the boxes. The bust, the fit of the bust as designed has 4.5 inches of ease. Is that for the coat? That's for the coat. For the dress, it has 3.5 inches. So again, that makes perfect sense. Of course, you want to check the waist on this one too, since it is fitted throughout. But yeah, I don't need this. But even if I worked in an office, I still wouldn't need it because I probably already have it. But if, like I said a million times already, if you're building up your wardrobe, New Look is the perfect place to start because it has so many just classic, easy designs at the price point we like. So this is little girls' clothes. I don't typically review them because I don't know how to talk about fit and stuff as it relates to little girls. All I can tell you is that that's really cute. And the way they started with her little hat is adorable. This is children's pajamas. Again, very basic, very classic. We've got a Mrs. T-shirt. Okay, knit tops and skirt. So 3 tops, 3 skirts. What's the difference? The sleeves? Whoop, sleeves and neckline of the top and the length of the skirts, I think. Yeah, there's only 2 skirts actually. Oh, and actually only 2 tops too. Okay, sizing 10 to 22, designed for stretch knits only. Beginner friendly pattern includes a simple pull on skirt in two lengths with an elastic waist, plus a knit top with your choice of straight or cuff sleeves. Well, and also your choice of mock neck or crew neck. Great for quick makes or capsule wardrobe staples, for sure. They don't tell you what these are pictures of, I guess, because you can't tell from the pictures, but stretch knits only, interlock, jersey, rib knit, ITY knits, bamboo knit, modal knit, velour, and sweater knits. For the most part, all of these are pretty stretchy. This is the only one where the stretch varies depending on the weave of the sweater, but this is all pretty stretchy stuff. I don't love that we're not going to see this on a human being to get an idea of like how fitted it's intended to be. But, you know, it is a great little wardrobe builder. Jeez. And the intention is that the bust would have 2 inches of ease, so positive ease. I would expect for that stretch amount of fabric, I want to say those fabrics are going to have like at least 50% stretch, maybe even 75. For that amount of stretch, I would be thinking 0 ease or lower, like a fitted. What about the hip of C and D? They're giving us positive 1.5. That feels a little bit better because it is your bum. And I don't know, I don't like things to be like super stretched across my bum. But I think the top should have less, like maybe 0 inches and be like exactly your body measurement. Something like that. I think a loose fitting, really stretchy knit top like that looks, I don't know, something about it just is off a little bit. Okay, now we've got new look sewing pattern Mrs. Evening Gowns. Wow. Okay, 8 to 18. So your dream dress. Is it my dream dress? This full-length dress pattern features a lined fitted bodice, elegant back zipper, voluminous gathered skirt with front inverted pleat. Perfect for weddings, bridal party dresses, proms, or formal events. View A includes timeless square neckline. Not timeless are those sleeve caps. Princess seams, long puff sleeves, and optional decorative flowers at the shoulders for a gorgeous look. Wow, they're really selling this one. View B offers a V neckline with front bodice darts, gathered elbow length flare sleeves. So they are gathered, not flutter sleeves. They're gathered under here. Contrast skirt and contrast shoulder bows. Bodice and skirt in cotton blends, dupioni, satin, silk, synthetics. And view B can, like as a contrast, can also be in any of these, but also brocade and velvet. Yeah, it's giving oh god, what was that movie? Death Becomes Her. Why is it giving me Death Becomes Her? Yeah, I wouldn't say it's my dream dress, but it's a good enough dress. Of course, I love the little contrast bows, are so cute. And I much prefer all the gathers kind of remaining full into the sleeve rather than them tapering into this. This is what I think gives it that 80s look. I don't even really hate the flowers. It just depends on the quality of the flowers that you get and like what they actually end up looking like. But other than that, it's just a basic fit and flare pleated dress. Like we've seen it 1,000 times other than the sleeve detail. That's the only real big difference. Notion, zipper, hook and eye, seam tape, and then 6 artificial roses. I'm not even entirely sure how you go about sourcing those for garments. Do you just get the things at Michael's, like the fake flowers at Michael's? Are we gluing them on? I don't know how that works. Fit wise, we should be pretty fitted here. Yeah, we've got 1.5 inches in the bust and 1 inch in the waist. So that makes sense. It's a lot of dress. It's definitely an evening gown. A gown for sure. All right, and these were all from spring. So that is new look fall. Yeah, certainly not like a collection that I'm going to remember for very positive reasons. I don't know if it was just the model, the fit on the model. styling, fabric choice. It could be so many things that just these all felt a little bit off. But I think that if you liked them and gave them a chance and styled them a little bit differently or paid attention to the sizing as it relates to your body, they could look a lot better. But let me know what you guys think. Leave your comments in the comments section below. I read every single one of them. And I will be back very soon with another first impression from the Big Five. See you all then. Bye.